We continue our conversation about religious persecution in China with Nina Shea, Senior Fellow and Director of the Hudson Institute's Center for Religious Freedom. Nina has been an international human rights lawyer for more than 30 years. Nina, the games in Beijing opened Friday with half the countries participating in these games compared to the 200 countries in the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Which countries announced diplomatic boycotts and did follow through?
Well, the United States was the first to announce it, and it was followed then by the UK and Australia and Japan. So, and there may be others, I think Lithuania. So there are diplomatic boycotts. This means that there's no official delegation at the Olympics in protest to the genocide that's actually going on. And other human rights abuses across the board, of course. But, you know, this is people have compared it to the Berlin Olympics with Jesse Owens. It's actually, that was, I think, in the mid-30s. This is actually worse because right now the genocide is in full gear. It's going on against the Uyghur Muslims and other ethnic Muslims in the western province of Xinjiang. And at that time, in the Nazi period, the Holocaust really hadn't gotten underway. Kristallnacht hadn't even happened. So this is much worse.
And it's definitely a defiant touch by the Chinese President Xi Jinping at the end of the opening ceremony to have a Uyghur cross-country skier from the western Chinese region of Xinjiang as one of the two last torchbearers. What does this mean for the fight to free the Muslim ethnic minority community? And is this more manipulation as they deny these claims?
Yeah, this is a propaganda ploy. They are defiant against human rights, Western notions of human rights, universal human rights. And it is a grotesque display. I imagine that poor Uyghur there is crying, underneath behind the smiles. They were probably coerced. Their families could have been threatened. You know, the Xinjiang where he's from, or he or she's from, is the region where there is this vast network of concentration camps where Uyghurs are being rounded up by the millions, 1 to 3 million, and brainwashed, and the women are being forcibly sterilized and forced to have abortions as a way of eliminating their population. This was pronounced by the U.S. government last year by both administrations, by first the Trump administration and then the Biden administration. So we have an official declaration of genocide, and it is as bad as it comes, with torture, disappearances, probably organ harvesting as well. We're getting new research on that the Uyghurs are being targeted deliberately to eliminate them for that reason.
Well, let's talk policy then with exactly what you were saying about the designation of the persecution of the Uyghurs as genocide by both the Trump and Biden administrations, which you called a bold departure from public policy. Why is that a bold departure?
It's a bold departure because it's ongoing. Usually these genocides, like the Armenian genocide after 100 years was declared last year by the U.S. government, they usually are done after long after the genocide is over. This is not just any government. This is a really powerful trade partner, unlike, say, a place like Sudan, where we also declared a genocide, or Rwanda, where there was a genocide. So it's by a powerful sitting government, this genocide is being carried out. It was also bold, Montse, because it was opposed by the lawyers in the State Department. By some of the lawyers and bureaucrats in the State Department opposed this. They thought it would disrupt relations, bilateral, trade relations with China. And so it was a very courageous move for Secretary Pompeo. I talked to his chief policy advisor on China this week. He's at Hudson Institute now, and I interviewed him, and that's what he told me, that it was opposed by the State Department itself, by many in there, by key people in there. And he had to overcome that to do this designation. He called it a policy designation, so it wasn't a legal one out of their legal department.
Well, we hope that the Biden administration will continue to pursue this. One last question for you, Nina. What can you tell us about retired Cardinal Joseph Zen, Bishop Emeritus of Hong Kong, and the recent accusations by the CCP of his inciting student riots against repressive measures in 2019?
Under the cover of the Olympics, Montse, Cardinal Zen is being attacked in multiple articles in the government press in Hong Kong. This is the Beijing press in Hong Kong. He's being accused of very serious crimes of violating national security laws and of inciting riots. And this is it's a way to raise the flag that they are going to go after him. This is the pattern that's usual in such instances. It's a campaign against him,
and
very
public
vitriolic,
and
against the churches and against the schools. Most of the schools in Hong Kong are Christian run. And he's saying that they're responsible for the protests against the government by the students and the young people in Hong Kong. So this is a prelude, we believe, for a crackdown on the Hong Kong churches. They have been relatively left alone until now. They are not under the sinicization policy where they, have to take down their crosses or put surveillance cameras on their congregations or exclude children from the worship services. They have been relatively free, and now it looks like it's going to change rather quickly.
Well, we'll
and
be
Cardinal
watching
Zen
it.
is at great deal at risk right now. So let's pray for him. Let's keep him in our thoughts and keep closely watching it.
Absolutely. We'll watch it closely, and we will ask for prayers and join in prayers for him. Thank you, Nina. We hope to have you back so you can update us on the situation.
Thanks so much.